was originally going to hold off on reviewing anything by the Beatles until 2020. However, due to the iconic status that Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band has in the medium of music for 50 years, especially for the genre of rock and roll, I have to do a special review of this influential Beatles album. After 50 years, does Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band still deserve to be revered as a masterpiece even today? Well, I'll tell you, after I put this wine glass away. If you have never heard of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, there is something you need to understand before you approach this album. You see, the title Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band acts as if it is an alter ego to the Beatles themselves. That said, when you start listening to this record, you need to pay attention to the brilliant sound design that Sgt. Pepper's has throughout this whole entire thing. The reason I love the sound design is that it really fits in with the concept of the titular Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which in reality is a fictitious band. After the intro, which establishes the concept of the titular fictitious band, we have one of the few songs sung by drummer Ringo Starr with a little help from my friends, which is great. What follows is easily the catchiest track in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Lennon's lyrics are very imaginative in this one. It's a great Beatles song. Enough said. Getting Better and Fixin' a Hole are good tracks, but they do contain that good old Beatles sound. She's Leaving Home has great harp and orchestral instrumentation that makes it, hands down, easily the most beautiful sounding track in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. For the Benefit of Mr. Kite was a very experimental track in the Beatles' entire discography. In fact, it is the only track that I recall where the Beatles have circus music in any of their music. Within You Without You definitely has a touch of George Harrison throughout the entire track. Now, this isn't the first time that Indian classical instrumentation has been used in the Beatles album. Rubber Soul and Revolver have that instrumentation too. So it really is no surprise that the Indian classical instrumentation comes back for Sgt. Pepper's. What follows is When I'm 64, which is when Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band has a bit of a sense of humor, since this is the funniest track in the record. Enough said. Good Morning has got me thinking recently. This has got to be a nod to the Beach Boys album Pet Sounds, because George Martin, the producer of the Beatles, once said there would be no Sgt. Pepper's without Pet Sounds. And there is a lot of animal background sound effects in this track, so that's what I'm thinking, that this has got to be a nod to Pet Sounds. The reprise of the titular track that was the intro for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is a great penultimate track in this record, which leads into A Day in the Life. This final track of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is amazing. It is one of the greatest closing tracks of any album I have ever heard, and one of my favorite Beatles songs for sure. A Day in the Life is an incredible, unforgettable closer to a masterpiece. Now, why do I consider Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band to be a masterpiece? This is because the Beatles were known for pop music, and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band proved that pop music can be high art. It had great songs, it had great sound production values, and it paved the way for what pop music should sound like. And like fine wine, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band has aged very well. If you haven't guessed already, I am going to give Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band an A+. If you you like this review, feel free to hit the like button, and if you want to follow my channel, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. And as always, you're welcome to leave me a comment if you feel so inclined. And thank you for watching my review of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I will see you in the next review.